Here comes the long stretch. Now, if you've been doing this for a little bit, we are going to now bring our knees into our chest. Here comes the hug. We're going to let our low back relax down. Keep hugging one leg in, extend the other leg out. Open up through your hips here. We start giving ourselves a nice hip opener. Both knees are going to come into the chest, and now we take it opposite leg out. Both knees come in. Here comes the hug. Let your tailbone relax down. That might mean you even let your legs go a little further away. You will let your shoulders relax down. Let's open our neck. Look to the right. Take a look to the left as you relax, release through your neck. We bring the bottoms of the feet down to our mat, arms open to the side. Let's take a little windshield wiper legs to one side and bring your windshield wiper to the other side. Here's one side and here's the other. Now we want this to feel good through our back, through our hips, so you only take it where it feels good as you take it side to side. Now we're going to meet with our feet down on the mat, knees towards the ceiling, arms by your side. Let's add a couple bridges. Now, if you want to take the block between your thighs as you do this, do that. Lift your hips, take a little pause at the top, open, and then we gently release it back down. Here comes the lift of your hips, open, and then we gently bring it down. Let's do this a few times. Feel the lift of your hips. You want to bring your tailbone forward. You're going to feel the opening through the front side. We want to start bringing in our core. Here comes one more. Have the nice opening at the top. Then with control, you bring it back down to the floor. We are going to take our arms up, add a wrist stretch here. Take your fingertips towards your forehead as you take the wrist stretch. Switching sides, there's the wrist stretch on the other side. We will now take our fingertips away. Thumb is in the crease as you add a stretch here. Make sure you catch both arms. Maybe you didn't need to use the extra stretch with the other hand. Wrist circles. We just want to make sure our wrists are warmed up before we start moving. Now give yourself space. We're going to do little snow angels on the floor. I'm just going to scoot over a little because my weights are in the way. Think goalpost arms, shoulders are back and down. You're going to reach your fingertips up overhead. As your fingertips reach, just check to see, did your shoulders stay down? Did your elbows stay down? Wrists down, and then slide back. So this is a stretch. We're opening up our shoulders, our chest a little more. Now, if they don't stay down, that's fine. It is just more information for you to know that maybe your shoulders are a little tight. And that means when we do some of our exercises, especially with weights, be aware that your range of motion will be different if your shoulders are tighter. We're going to take one more reach right here. And then go ahead, bring your arms back down to your side. We are going to go ahead, take a couple crunches, hands behind your head. Now I'm going to let my elbows come up a little bit. Thumbs are by my jaw. Exhale, lift up. Now, even though I let my elbows come forward a little bit, exhale, lift. I'm still lifting with my core. So one of the reasons they say to keep your elbows open wide is so that you don't tug on your neck. So if you do a good job, exhale, lift, keeping your lifting of your shoulders off the mat in your core. Where your elbows go is fine. So you just want to keep that in mind. You exhale, you lift. We're going to take two more here. We take it one more time. Now you're going to relax the upper body. We're focused on adding our leg tap here. You would lift a leg, soft tap down. Now what we want to think, are you still zipping up? Do you still have your neutral spinal curve? Now hips are stable. Everything else is staying stable. And we're just adding the lift of your leg. Now you might be completely warmed up and you choose to do both legs at the same time. If you do that, keep in mind what happens with your low back. What happens with your shoulders, your jaw, your neck. Finish your next one, even out each side. Feet can stay down. We're going back to crunches where we extend one leg out. Toes are towards the ceiling. You can cross your arms in front. Take your exhale, lift, peek at your toes, and then bring it down. So you exhale core, and then lift. We look at our toes. Are they straight up towards the ceiling? This is a chance to also, when you exhale, lift, when you look at your foot, is it flat as if it's pressing against the wall? Or does it swivel a little bit? Here comes your last one. Exhale, lift. Now we're going to switch sides. So you slide the straight leg in, opposite leg is out, toes towards the ceiling. Take your exhale, your lift. And bring it down. So here comes the exhale. Take a peek at your toes. Foot is flat. And then you release. Take your exhale. Then you lift. We have two more. Take your last one right here. Relax down. Take both your knees in. We're going into our hip rolls. Squeeze your legs together. Now take your knees off to one side. Level out your knees. There's the reach. Bring it to center. Knees go to the other side. There's the reach. Return to center. Can you keep your gaze up towards the ceiling as you roll and reach? Do that again. You take your roll, your reach. We're doing this one more time each side. Finish this one. Bring it back to center. Feet can go down. One more time, we're going to crunch, but we're adding a rotation. You take your exhale, lift. Now bring your shoulder across. Back to center, release down. Exhale, lift. Take the opposite shoulder up and across, center, and down. Exhale, lift. Take it across, center, down. We're doing four more. Exhale, lift, shoulder off, center, down. There's your crunch, your cross, center, down. One more time, lift. We have one side. We're going to finish out the other side. Bring yourself down. We're going right into our chest press. Now, when I do my chest press, I use the heaviest size weights I have. Now, that is a personal preference for me. If you want to use a different size, feel free to do that. If you're in between, maybe you start with one size, switch to the other. So we want to feel the zip of our core, engage your rib cage, and then you add your press to the top and bring it down. We're going to push our arms up, bring it down. Now, as you do your chest press, your arms are in line with your chest. I say that because our tendency at times is to let the weight come over our shoulders. We want to make sure it's staying over your chest. So when you press up, you're right over your chest. Now there's your push and bring it down. There's your push. So on these, our focus on push up, release down. Push up, release down. Now you're doing 2 like this. Your arms open, goalpost. Now this time you're going to push your arms up. Keep your arms to the top. There's your up. And now you're going to bring your arms down. So when we bring our arms down versus going up, has a little different emphasis, which means we feel it a little bit different in our chest muscles. You bring it down. So there's your down and your up. We're doing 4 more here. Here's your 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. Now this time, arms are going to stay up. Keep them up. And you're going to do just one arm. Bring it down. We're going to do 4 on one side. Now this, we have to work harder with our core to keep ourselves centered. So really think now. Engage through your core. Now keep that arm up and take it on the other side. You bring it down. You press it up. Down and up. There's your last one. Keep your arms up. Take your palms facing. It's a fly. You're going to open up. Now, I kept my heavier weights for the flies. You might find that when you switch to this movement, it's still your chest, but we have a little bit more in the front of the shoulders. You might be more comfortable with a different size weights. Now, if you find that you have to use momentum, meaning you have to bang your weights together at the top, then you probably want to change your size weights. We want to have full control. So when you get to the top, you still have space between your weights. They are stopping right over your shoulders. That's as close together as they get. There's your open. Now we're going to do 2 more here as you open and bring it up. Now we're going to keep our arms up. We're going to do 4 with your front arm. You're going to open up. Now this, you have to really engage the core to use control right here. We're doing 4 with the back arm. So right here, zip up. And when I say that, that's because we don't want to rock side to side. We want to keep everything centered as you open the arm to the side. And to do that, you need to be complete, zipped up, and engaged. Let's do both our arms together. For 4, 3, 2, you're taking your last one, meet with your hands up right here. And now you're going to bend your elbows by your side, and it's a pullover. So you're going to bring yourself over and pull it back. So now we are using our core. You have to zip up. You want to gauge through your rib cage, but this is about our back. Now our elbows stay at 90. So if you like to move your elbows, can you keep them in the same position and only move through the shoulders as you reach over and pull it back? So there's your over and your pull. We take it over, engage, pull back. 4 more. Let's take 4. Here's your 3. Here comes your 2. And take your last one. Now we're going to go into tricep press. So right here, weights are by your side, and then you press up. So now, this is chest. We have help with our chest. It's about our triceps. So I'm going to have you keep going here. Now I'm going to start switching up my weights. Triceps are a smaller muscle group. So I'm going to switch to a size that's more appropriate for my triceps. But you choose. You might be feeling great. Now we are going to progress, and we're going to isolate the triceps a little bit more. So you're going to bring your arms up right here. You're going to take your arms a little back. Elbows stay up, and check it out. Again, now this time, Shoulders stay completely still. Just the elbow moves. And then as you do this, the focus is the back of your arm. But you want to pay attention to what's happening through your core and your back. If you start arching your back, you take that exhale. Bring your rib cage in. Stabilize through your low back. There it comes. 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. And there's your last one. Go ahead, bring your arms down. Set your weights to the side. Give yourself a little stretch here. Take the arm across the front so that'll catch the back of your shoulders, your tricep. Take it to the other side. Now, if there's a different stretch that feels better, feel free to do that. You can open your arms up to the side. Maybe you hug and you open between your shoulder blades. Whatever feels good right here. Maybe little wrist circles, whatever feels good. We're going to bring ourselves over onto our front side. So gracefully rolling over onto your bellies. This is a chance to give ourselves a nice stretch for your low back as well as the front side. Sphinx poses first. Elbows down. Here comes that reach through the top of your head. Lift, lengthen, get long, make it feel good. Release down. Press back, it's child's pose. Give yourself a press back. Hips slide back, maybe really lengthen through your low back. Wherever it feels good now, you might like to take a little more tricep stretch, maybe more chest stretch, whatever feels good. We are going to be bringing ourselves up so that we can work, we're going to do some rows and some bicep curls. So have your weights ready. Today, instead of taking it into all fours to do it, I'm going to have us do more of a low lunge type format. I'm going to be tossing bicep curls in there too. So have one leg to the front. You're going to support yourself on the leg. Now, I'm starting with rows, so I'm going heaviest weight, and then I lift and bring it down. It's a lift and bring it down. There's the pull and the release. Pull, release. So I want you to think about core is still engaged. So if you're like letting your low back collapse, then think, can I keep my belly button pulling in? And that's really about supporting your low back. It might always hard to use words to describe that. You just want to make sure you're really solid through the low back to support yourself. Here comes 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to go into bicep curls. Bicep curls technically not as strong as your back, so you would take a little smaller weight, but maybe your weight works fine. One-armed bicep curls right here. So I brought myself upright. I'm all the way up, one arm. So when we work one side at a time, we do have to really work on staying balanced here. Great chance to bring in the core some more. There's the lift. I want you to feel it in the front of your arm. There's the curl. And the curl. We have 5 more. There's your 5. So we're going to really burn out one side, and then I'm going to switch to the other side. That means we're going to be doing another exercise right here. You're going to go right into your triceps. So now you're going to set that weight. I'm going to go into smaller. If you can use your middle size weight, do it. My triceps are burning. Right here comes the kickback, and bring it in. Now kick back for the kickback. Elbow stays in one spot. Shoulder, elbow is the only thing moving. It stays in the same spot in space. Your shoulder is completely still. And then just pay attention to your neck, because if you're looking up, you're going to be straining your neck. It might start making your back, your neck irritated. So kind of look down towards the floor as you extend right there. We are doing 5 more. So we're doing a lot of extra work for our triceps right here. And there comes your last one. Go ahead, set the weight down, shake it out, give yourself a little shake, shake. We get to do the other side, so you know what's coming right here. Low lunge, we start with our back rows. So you can support yourself here, pull up, release down. Pull up, release down. So just check with your back, neck. This is where we want to be supported through our low back. I get it. We're like in a kneeling position. Technically, we're supported. But lots of times we let our low back do a lot of the work that we could be doing through the front side of our core. You're pulling your elbow up. I want you to really think about pulling up so you're using your back muscles. Strong back helps us stay upright. There's your last one. We're moving on to biceps. This is where I switch to a smaller weight, but you might choose to stay with a heavier weight if your biceps are rocking today. Now I'm up nice and tall, and then you stay centered. So if you're moving, swaying as you take your weight, think about staying nice and still as you add the curl and the release. And remember, when we do bicep curls, I'm doing a full range, which means we open all the way at the bottom. Sometimes we have a tendency to keep a little bend in the elbow at the bottom. You want to let that full extension happen as you lift and you lower. There's 3, 2. Now we're going back into our tricep work. And like I said, technically you could keep the weight that you had because our biceps and our triceps should be close in strength. I am lowering down a little bit. So my triceps are more fatigued. So rather than losing form and letting my shoulder get more than it should, I change the weights so that I can still do good tricep kickbacks safely without worrying about injury. So when we try to lift weights that are really a little bit too heavy for us, we risk injury because we're, doing more than that joint because we take it in the joint. So then we worry about hurting our joints. Here comes your last 2. Now you're going to go ahead, set that down, give yourself a nice little stretch. You might be taking your thumbs back. Now we're going to do a plank to take it to a pike. If doing like the downward dog isn't working for you, we're going to be standing. So feel free to take it to standing if the little pike doesn't work. But we are in a plank. You might feel the plank a little different today because we already did our chest, we did our arms. So you might feel the work happening in your arms a little more because we just worked those. Now here comes your pike, which means you're going to lift your hips. Now keep in mind when you do those, the hip lift comes from the core. Give yourself a nice stretch here. We're going to plank one more time. Bring yourself into that solid plank. Really zip the core, lifting up, staying strong right here. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Lift your hips, and when you lift, think core, core, core as you lift up. Now, once you get there, maybe you take the long stretch, or we're going to start walking our hands to our feet so you can bring yourself all the way up to standing. So take that nice roll up so you're rolling one vertebra at a time. Once you get all the way up, we're going to be doing some combination moves. So you're going to be having some squatting. I'm going to take a medium-sized weights. The work that we're doing is mostly for our shoulders. So I'm going to take a middle size or a lighter size. I'll probably even switch it up halfway through. It's squatting with the overhead press. So if your squat, you might like your squat narrow. That's going to catch your quads more. You might like it a little wider. Arms are going to be by your shoulders, your ears. We're going to squat down, and when you come up, overhead press. So we're doing our combination moves here as you squat, press, bring it up. Now think, can I smoothly slide down? Now keep in mind here, if the overhead press doesn't feel good for your shoulders, because pressing overhead isn't really the best for everybody, skip it. You can still hold your weights. You could do a different movement with your arms. There is the slide down, push, bring it up. Now at the same time, as you take it down, pull on the core, push, lift up. We have 4 more here. You push and lift. Here comes the 3. Push and lift. So we're moving slow enough so that you can fully engage everything on the way up. When we move too fast, we lose some of that engagement as you press. Bring it up. Now your arms can come down. We're going into a play movement with an upright row. Feet can go a little wider. Arms are in front. You slide down, pull up, and then release. So yes, this is coming into your shoulders again. Little different area because it's more of your traps. Elbows open wide. So we want to make sure we're opening our elbows up to the side as you slide the weights through the front of the body. You can also think of this as a nice little zip up the core as your weights pull up. You slide down. Now I do always like to remind you, when you come up in your plie, make sure right there it's a squeeze of your glutes and your thighs, which is different than lifting up through your knees, okay? Now let's make sure we're using our muscles as we lift up. Let's do 2 more. And stay all the way up right here. You can bring yourself up. We're going to take a little side lunge. I guess we could have kept our feet out. I'm going to take a lunge to the side and lift to the side. We're going to lift to the side. So now as you slide from side to side, you're going to lift. Now this one, my shoulders are a little weaker there. I'm going to switch out my weights. Go a little less as I lift and I lift. So now we have our legs working. There's your lunge. There's your side raise. And now when you lift your arms to the side, take a peek. They only need to go shoulder height. That's as high as they go. Let's do 4 more. Here's your 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. And there's your last one. Go ahead, bring it up. Give yourself a little shake out. Now this time we're going to stand. We are going to add some knee lifts. As we take the knee lifts, bicep curls. Lift a knee, curl up, switch sides. So I do have my lighter weights. If you want to switch out, go heavier. Feel free to do that. There is the lift. Now let's do this one more time like this on each side. Lift a knee, curl up, and remember you can always skip the knee lift if it's not working for you today. Now we're gonna lift our knee up this time. Keep it lifted up. Curl, hold the knee up, find your focal spot. We're gonna take some curls here. You're gonna curl while you hold the knee up. Curl, hold the knee up. 2 more. There's the lift. And then set the foot down, other side. Stand tall, lift the knee, keep the knee up, and then we curl and release. Curl, release. Curl, release. 2 more. Here comes your last one. Leg goes down. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take both weights in one hand. It feels okay for my grip. We're doing some side bends on one side, then we'll take them on the other side. Remember, this is about our core. So you're gonna crunch to the side and then bring it up. You're gonna crunch to the side, bring it up. Now I have my arm down by the side. If you would prefer taking it up behind your head, that does add an additional element right here. Think elbow towards the ceiling and bring it up. So whatever feels best for you. I'm keeping my arm down today. And think crunch and pull it up with your core. Crunch, pull it up with the core. We're gonna switch sides here. Take the weights in the other side. There's the crunch, core and lift. There's the side and lift. Again, if you want to do it with your hand behind your head. One great reason to do this is, one, you're getting a little bit more alignment. Two, you can make sure you keep having your head back instead of having it lean forward as you do the movements. Here comes 3. It's your 2. And now last one. Let's go ahead, bring yourself up, set your weights down out of the way. We are taking our full roll down. Once we get down, we're in a plank. We're gonna do some side planks as well once we're there. So heels are under your hips. We are rolling down, chin to chest. Remember, knees soften. This is about stretching so you can let yourself be a little bit more rained out. Just be aware if it bothers your low back, you need to get more engagement in your core. You're walking yourself out into your plank. Maybe your plank is on your toes, maybe it is on your knees, where it is a solid, strong plank. That's where you're taking it. From the plank here, we're taking it to a side plank. Now I'm gonna stay up high. I get it, if your wrists bother you, bring yourself down to your forearm. Otherwise, you're lifting up, you're holding your plank right here. It's your side plank as you hold it. And keep lifting your hips. Bottom knee can go down. We have all kinds of variations you can take. Now you're gonna bring yourself back to your plank. Reset yourself in the center. From there, you are going to take it into your side plank on the other side. Set yourself up. Lift. Now we want to think, lift your hips. Now this top arm, it's directly over your shoulders. So it's like fingertips to wrists down on the floor. Remember, bottom knee can be down. Bring your arm down. There comes your plank. Hold it here. Can you hold it just a little bit longer? Knees come down. Press yourself back. Give yourself a nice stretch. We are going to bring ourselves through into a seated position. So bring your feet through. We're going to be rolling down. We're going to get into some of our core. We have to do our 100, all that good stuff. However you want to roll down. You could be supporting yourself today. You might choose to do your roll down here. Your legs could be straight. Now, once you get there, we're going into the dead bug. I'm using that to really get solid through our core. So knees are over your hips. You'll know they're there because you'll already feel your core working. Arm and leg move. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg. And then think, stabilize. So what is happening in the middle as you take the movement? I have my legs bent. You might choose to take it out long. Just make sure you're keeping good alignment as you do that. Let's do 4 more. We do our 4. Here's your 3. It's your 2. Now we're gonna start getting ourselves set up for the 100. You choose where you want your legs. Maybe they stay up. Maybe you take them down. Maybe you take them straight. Fingertips are reaching away from you. That means you're out of your neck, your shoulders. You took that big exhale when you lifted up. Here's the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Maybe you take a little side to side with your neck if that feels good. We do have both of our feet go up towards the ceiling. It's a scissors movement. Make sure you're engaged right here. Maybe it's small scissors. Now I do like to mention outward rotation a little bit. So knees are going toward the corners of the room. I do that so you're using more core, less hip, okay? So if you can get that, even with your knees bent, you can keep that little bit of an outward rotation so you're not using your hip flexors quite as much as you make the movement. Now we're going to take this right into a crossover movement. Hands can come behind your head, and then you take your little crossover, and then your crossover. So now we're taking shoulder across, shoulder across. And I like to emphasize it's the shoulder lifting versus the knee coming in. Way easier to bring your knee in than it is to take it, to bring the shoulder up. That's what I think anyway. There's your lift and your lift. There's your lift and your lift. Let's take 4, 3, 2. Give yourself a little break right here. Relax down. Now I'm pulling my knees in. You might feel better giving yourself a long stretch, like from your fingertips to your toes. We are going to do another core move. This is going to be that core move where we kind of have one leg up, one hovering. We rub our palms. We're going to go through that, and then we'll be moving on to some leg work. So let's go ahead. Both your toes are up. One leg comes down. Maybe you have it hovering here. Maybe you have it hovering higher. We're going to reach our fingertips up. Take that big exhale. Lift up. You're reaching to the outside of the top leg, and you rub your palms. Rub, 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 rub. Now, can you lift both your shoulders off the mat as you take the rub? And you're rubbing, rubbing, reaching, reaching, rubbing. And let's bring it back to center. Other side, foot goes down. Here comes big exhale. Reach and rub. And you're trying to bring both your shoulders off. Doesn't mean it necessarily happens, but we're trying to lift, lift. Give ourselves that nice little burn in your core. Reach, 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 reach. And then go ahead. Bring it down. Give yourself a little break. We're taking it right over to the side. We start with our clamshell so we can work on our outer hip, outer thigh. Now, if you want to use a weight, grab whatever size weight feels good. Knees are stacked, feet are together, weight is on your thigh. Find that comfortable spot, then you lift and lower. There comes the lift and the lower. Here's your lift and lower. So we really want to pay attention. Knees are together. Lift and release it down. Lift, release. We have 3 more. Here's your 3. Here's your 2. Now I'm going to keep my bottom leg bent for balancing, but if you can go straight with both, that's great. Leg is still on your thigh. Pull in your toes. Add the side leg lift. Bring it down. Bring it up. Now I went with a medium-sized weight. You might be comfortable taking your heavy weight, or maybe you prefer using a lighter weight. You can also experiment. Use both your weights on your leg if you're like in between and you want to just try different sizes, as you work the outer part of your leg. We will be moving to the inner in 2 more. There's 1, and there's 2. So we're gonna go into the inner thigh. I like to use my block to get my weights out of the way real quick. Now, inner thigh, I'm putting the weight on my inner thigh. My balance pretty good, so then I lift. Now just pull your toes in and lift with the arch of the foot. So feel the lift through the arch. And then the movement is smooth, meaning it is smooth on the way up, smooth on the way down. Smooth up, smooth down. There's 3, 2. Here comes your last one. Grab your weight if you're using it. Bring yourself into a seated position. So on our way over to the other side, we're gonna do our quad work. So we're gonna work the front of our thigh. This is where I'm sticking with my medium-sized weight. Feel free to take it heavier if you want. Toes are towards the ceiling, and then you add the lift and the lower. Lift and lower. Now, keep in mind, we're working our quadricep here. So if every time you lift, you lean back, you're gonna miss some of the fun of that exercise. So you wanna make sure you're taking lift and lower. So I'm only lifting my leg. Range of motion could be smaller. There's 1 more time. You're gonna lift it up. I'm tossing in our pulses. I know that we like them, so there's your pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then you're gonna tap it out, tap it out, tap it out. Here comes the other side. Quad work right here. Toes up, add the lift, bring it down. Add the lift, bring it down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Can you tell if you have a stronger leg? I definitely know when I do this, which one of my legs is my stronger leg. Now you're gonna do this 1 more time so you can lift up, add your pulses, add your little pulse and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And tap it out, tap it out, tap it out. Keep in mind, totally normal if your leg shakes when you do that. That's fine. It's actually kind of a good thing. That means you're using your muscles and you're challenging yourself. Here comes. Knees in front. Make sure you're switched and you're on the opposite side. Stack your knees, feet stay together, add your lift and your lower. So now we're back to our outer hip, outer thigh. And you might notice if you change where the weight is on your leg, it also changes how it feels as you lift and lower. We're doing 3 more. 3, 2. Now you're going to extend both your legs out. We keep the weight on the top leg. If you're using it, you don't have to. We're adding our lift and lower right here. Lift up, bring it down. Remember, we're leading with the heel. And it's a good chance to pull your waistline up and away from the mat and just see if you're still engaged through your core at all. Take 3 more. There's 3, 2. We get to do our inner thigh yet, so extend the bottom. Stretch it out. Add the lift and lower here. We're lifting with our arch. And it's a smooth move up, it's a smooth move down. So we want to think, oh, I can control the move down as much as I add that resistance and lift it up. There's 4, 3, 2. There's the last one. Now you can go ahead and grab your weight. I am going to give us a good stretch. I want to make sure we get our hamstrings here. To do our hamstrings, we're going to come into all fours. And if you're comfortable using the weight, we're going to take the weight in the crease of your knee. If you're not happy and you're not comfortable doing that, you don't have to. We're going to come into all fours. Remember right here, if you are a person that lets your belly drop to the floor, pull it in, set yourself up, flex the foot. We're going to lift the foot and bring it down. Now the range of motion here. We keep the core completely engaged. You're completely stable through your low back. So if you feel yourself arch at all, you've lifted your leg too high. Keep that in mind. We always want to protect our low back. And what we're really working on is strengthening our hamstring and our glutes. There's the lift. We're going to do 2 more. Now this time, lift it up, push the bottom of the foot towards the ceiling. You're taking a little pulse and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down, and now we switch to the other side. So if you choose to use the weight, set it on the other side. Set yourself up right here. Zip up, pull it in. Here comes bottom of the foot towards the ceiling. Bring it down. Bottom of the foot towards the ceiling. Bring it down. Push. Push. So let's pay a lot of attention to what is happening all the way from our head to our toes as you lift up. And the emphasis, hamstring lift. There's the lift. Now next time, lift it up, keep it up. We add our little pulse and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Now I want to give us a good stretch right here. One of the best stretches is our low lunge. I grabbed my block. When I say low lunge, I'm going to do the long one where your foot goes out. Now I'm going to be lifting my back leg. You could also do it where you're keeping the back leg down if that feels better. When you lift, you get just a little bit more into your hips. So the reason I like this one a lot is it's kind of like an all over body mobility stretch. So you get the long line, and right here, stay planted, and then add a stretch through the top of your head, little twist, not through your hips. This is through your mid upper back. Fingertips go up, and you just want to make sure you kept planting your front foot down. So if you roll to the outside of the foot, that's a different stretch. I want you to keep the whole foot planted down. Open through your chest. Bring yourself down. And now we switch to the other side. So when you come to the outside of the foot, that's a different stretch. I'm not doing that one. We're doing one where we're solid here. Remember, back knee can stay down, or you can lift it up. Once you have that, I really want you to feel stretch through the top of your head. Then you add your twist. This might be perfect. You might lift your arm. That might feel really good. Then little foot, right? Is it still down on the floor? You should be able to wiggle your toes so you're not pressing into your toes. You're gonna bring yourself down on twist. Bring yourself to the front. Have a seat. Bottoms of the feet together for a nice bound angle. Hinge forward, stretch here. Only where it feels good. Feeling good might be high. Feeling good might be low. Now, we're going to go right into our 90-90. I do like to stretch out. We did a lot of outer, like we did a lot of leg, hip stuff. So 90-90 means our front knee is at 90, ankle to knee 90, back leg is at 90. And then you add the lean and the stretch. And think, exhale, relax. Bring yourself up. We have the other side to go. Here comes the other side. Sweep yourself over. Front leg is 90. Pull the toes in. That protects your knee. And think 90 degrees here. Back hip, it can be up. Maybe you stay a little higher. Even if you stay higher as you exhale, relax. So it is with the exhale when you get a little deeper into a stretch. Work with your breath as you take your stretches. Bring yourself up. Take both your feet out in front of you. Now toes are going up towards the ceiling. Give your hands behind and open your chest. So feel the opening. Sit up really tall. Little bit of, so legs are strong right here. Toes are up. You're engaged. Lift your chest. And now take a little forward fold. That is for you. And make it feel good. So when I say that, don't force yourself into a forward fold because you think that is where you should be. Take the time and say, what do I feel? Where do I feel it? Now you're going to bring yourself up. I'm going to pop my hips up on the block, having a seat. I want to give ourselves a nice upper body stretches here. Lower body, let it completely relax. Shoulders, we want them up, back, and down. Open your chest. Lift your chest towards the ceiling. Let the fingertips clasp behind your back. Lift your chest a little bit more. That should feel good. Now you're going to open your arms to the side. Open between your shoulder blades and round right here. Now you might add a little, like a little side slash stretch so you can get your lats from doing rows. Bring it to center, and there's the other side. We're going to open our arms up again. Give yourself a big hug, right arm on the bottom, big stretch for the back of your shoulders. Let your elbows relax down. Bring your chin to your chest. That's an additional stretch for your neck, but also your back. Lift your head. We have the other side. So now the left arm goes on the bottom, and you should notice each side feels a little different. Elbows relax down. Now our chin comes towards our chest. We're still sitting tall, just our head comes down. Lift your head. We're going to open our arms. This time, now bend your right arm. Bring it behind you. We're opening our chest, front of our shoulders again. And now take your left shoulder only where it feels good. So don't force it. We want to be nice to our neck here when you take this stretch. Lift your head. Take the opposite arm behind. There's your shoulders. We're sitting tall. Sometimes we like to collapse, so stay up tall. And then ear to shoulder. If you don't feel the stretch, your chin, maybe it went up when you did that, maybe it went down. So you'll find the best stretch when you make tiny little movements with your chin. Lift your head up. Give yourself a big shoulder roll. We're going to add a gentle twist to the right here. Hands come to the outside. Sit a little taller. Add your gentle twist. If you want more of a neck stretch, you look over your back shoulder. Take your eyes as you look back. Bring yourself to the front. Here comes arms off to the other side. Maybe you stay here, gentle twist. You could turn your head, maybe a little further, a little further. Bring it back to center. We take our big shoulder roll. Let your shoulders come up, back, and down. Here comes your inhale. We take a big inhale, reach up. Exhale, blow it all out. 2 more times, big inhale. Exhale, blow it out. 1 more time. Inhale up. Exhale out. And thank you all very much. Have a wonderful week.